Crypto credit cards. How to get $250 in free Bitcoin using a credit card. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, well, they're wildly popular nowadays, and for good reason. At the time of production, the price of Bitcoin is approaching, well, $50,000+, and in my opinion, is only going to get higher and higher and higher, approaching $100,000 per Bitcoin this summer, before falling back sharply, in my personal opinion, and if I use my powers of prognostication, before approaching highs once again. The thing is, most people only trade Bitcoin speculatively. That means hold it, hoping it will go up. There currently is only a limited way to actually spend Bitcoin, and that's going to change even more with the introduction of the first Bitcoin debit cards, and now with Bitcoin credit cards. When you're done watching this video all the way to the end, you're going to know why Bitcoin credit cards are awesome. You'll know the super secret strategies of the credit savvy to use all credit cards, including crypto credit cards, to their personal advantage, and not as a way to get into more debt. And above all, I'm going to teach you a super secret way to get $250 in free, you heard me right, free Bitcoin. So join in with me and lovingly, tenderly, gently smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's get started. You're watching Finance Squared. I'm your host, Derek West, and on Finance Squared, we love talking about all things personal finance, and that includes stocks and bonds, cryptocurrency as well, and of course, credit. And there's nothing like combining two topics to really get my personal finance juices flowing. And two topics that I'm really passionate about include cryptocurrency and credit. Cryptocurrency is a wild and crazy experience, if you can be honest with yourself, both in a good way and a bad way. Sure, certain coins are way overvalued. Bitcoin, pardon me, I seem to have allergies. But the technology to allow for decentralized, trustable cryptocurrency will inevitably allow for some serious growth in personal finance autonomy. But I'm pretty sure you know what Bitcoin is already. No need for a quick refresher, right? Even if you did need a refresher, you could certainly view other videos on the topic. Please see the videos in the card above. But just to make sure we're on the same page, I'll give a very brief explanation of what Bitcoin is and what it isn't, so that you aren't wandering around aimlessly. Feel free to skip ahead to the next section using the time cards down in the description. And I'll just say that part of the reason why having familiar tools like credit and debit cards to use with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, the reason that is so exciting is that it helps to demystify some of the complexity around cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Think about it. Do you know how your current credit card works? Do you know how fiat currency works? No, because you have the tools already in hand to use them, and they just work. When I tell you that Bitcoin is built on top of a blockchain, to some people their eyes start to glaze over, and the temptation to click out of this video and onto a cat video is simply overwhelming. And believe me, I can understand that temptation. It takes a lot of fortitude and perseverance to understand the basis of cryptocurrencies, why they are such a revolutionary technology, and why they are worth your time, effort, and money. Also why some of them may be overvalued, and why you should be careful when it comes to investing in them. These currencies are based off of a blockchain. A blockchain is technology that you can think of as a new way to store data, kind of like a database or a spreadsheet. In Bitcoin's case, that spreadsheet is storing information on transactions, and not just your transactions either. Every person running a Bitcoin node has a copy of every transaction ever completed since the beginning of Bitcoin. That's why blockchain can also be described as a distributed ledger. Distributed because a copy of the ledger is available on every node that uses Bitcoin. Ledger because it is used to record those transactions, like a regular ledger. To add new data to the chain, complex mathematical puzzles need to be performed. That's called mining. Once that mining is completed, a new block is added to every instance of the blockchain. And that's the basis for most cryptocurrencies. Now, there are more complexities around all of this, as I'm sure you know. For example, how new records are added to the chain is said to be a more electric-intensive process than the power capacities of some small countries. And this, of course, fuels worries over the health of the environment. There are problems with certain blockchains and the speed with which they complete transactions. Other problems exist as well, but those are all topics for another video. Like and subscribe. But I'm sure you know about credit cards. Some people think they are the bane of all financial existences. Others think they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. The truth is that it's somewhere in between, and it really depends on your personality. If you're the calm, cool, collected type, and you're really good at planning ahead, credit cards may be a great way to build wealth and get perks that you normally would have to pay a good deal for. If you're more of an impulsive, live for now type of person, credit cards could put you in a pretty bad spot. The point is, if you're going to get a credit card, any kind of credit card, whether it's a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency credit card or a standard credit card, you should make sure that you have a plan to use it to help you increase your wealth and not get suckered into incurring massive interest fees on things that you've just purchased. Interest fees can eat away at your wealth, even if all of your wealth is in digital currencies. Cryptocurrencies haven't changed that fact. Interest hurts you in two different ways. The debt that you're paying off takes money out of your pocket that you could be using for something else. If you're wise, you could be using those interest payments to increase your wealth by investing in stocks, index funds, REITs, and even cryptocurrency. I will say this about investing in cryptocurrencies. If cryptocurrencies are doing what they are claiming that they are doing, then you're not really investing in them per se. You're just holding different cryptocurrencies. The same way you aren't investing, quote unquote, in dollars when you get dollars from, let's say, your boss. or euros when you use your dollars to purchase euros. Sure, you can make money by trading in the differences in value between the currencies, and I'm sure many people have gotten wealthy doing that, but you're not quote unquote investing in the cryptocurrency. You're just holding it instead of dollars. And rant, that is a topic for another video. The other way interest hurts you is kind of the same way as the first. The interest rates are so damned high. We're not talking about home equity loans or mortgage loans here. Interest rates on credit card debt can be astronomical, anywhere from 11, 15, to even 25% or more. Getting stuck with interest payments that high can quickly snowball into massive debt if you're not careful. And again, that is money that could be best spent elsewhere, growing your wealth. So always have a plan when utilizing credit cards, whether it is to use a credit card for spending you already do, or to capture all the reward points, or credit card churn, or whatever it is. Have a plan and execute it. That said, how do crypto and blockchain credit cards differ from traditional credit cards? With traditional credit cards, you're borrowing money from the bank with the intention that you either pay them back immediately or you pay an extraordinary interest rate. Again, see the discussion on having a plan when using credit cards. I have a video coming up on using credit cards wisely, including crypto credit cards, so like and subscribe. But spoiler alert, don't be haphazard. Always pay back any balance you have within the month in full, not the minimum amount. Most of the credit cards that I reviewed, based on like Google searches of crypto credit cards, are more or less debit cards, and they want you to put up your crypto as collateral, at which point you borrow against that collateral, and they are effectively lending you fiat currency that can be used anywhere. So basically it allows you to finally use the crypto balances you've been accumulating, which honestly is not truly a credit card. With a credit card, you're borrowing money and then paying it back. That stated, there are some crypto credit cards in the works that are being released in spring of 2021, which is, depending on when you're watching this video, it's about right now. And because of that, there really is only one credit card that has defined its parameters, its benefits, and its stipulations, at least at the time of the production of this video. And that would be the BlockFi Bitcoin credit card. So by default, it's technically the best. Now, if you do a search for Bitcoin credit cards or crypto credit cards, you'll find that you get a ton of results for debit cards, which I just talked about just a second ago, which is fine. Nothing wrong with debit cards. In fact, they are the preferred method of payment for the wealth-conscious individual. But if you were planning on executing a credit card churning strategy with Bitcoin-only cards, well, if I'm being frank, you can't churn through multiple crypto credit cards if there's only one available. Because there is only one that's been defined so far, it is simultaneously the best and worst crypto credit card on the market. Some of the upsides of this card are that it's a sign-up bonus. If you spend $3,000 using the card, you get $250 in Bitcoin in the first 3 months. I'll tell you what to spend it on in a second. You get 3.5% rewards on all purchases in months 4 through 6 of card ownership, or $100 in Bitcoin. You get 0.25% back in Bitcoin on all trades, up to a maximum of $500 in Bitcoin each month. And you get $30 in Bitcoin for every client referral, on top of a base refer a friend program. Sounds awesome, am I right? Where do I sign up? Hold on. Regular watchers of my channel always know that with the good comes the bad. You need to be realistic when working with credit card companies. And this is particularly true for credit card companies and new technologies such as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Well, first things first, there's a waiting list to get the card. So not just anyone can go out and get it if they want to participate. Secondly, recall that great sign-up bonus. $250 in Bitcoin when you sign up if you spend $3,000 within the first 3 months. Well, there's a $200 annual fee associated to this crypto credit card. And although on their website they advertise that gives you a $50 profit immediately, which is 100% true, if you hold that card for more than a year, you're already in the hole for every year that you continue to hold it, which wouldn't be that bad if the perks were a bit more attractive, allowing you to use this for your normal spending and get rewards for your purchases, including building up a mini empire of Bitcoin reserves. But if you look at the site, they tell you right up front, and not even in the fine print, that you get 3.5% only during months 4 to 6 of ownership. So if you hold the card for longer than 6 months, you're not getting a great deal by any stretch of the imagination, as you will no longer be getting any reward points for your purchase, as the Bitcoin rewards for your purchases diminish. So there's a very limited way of getting benefits from this card, and that's to use it strictly for the $250 in Bitcoin, which is like not even a tenth of a Bitcoin, by the way. The best way to handle credit card and credit cards is to have a plan of action before you get the credit card or get into trouble with the credit. In other words, save up the money that you're going to spend on whatever purchases you have to make. Hopefully it's a need and not a want, but it could be technically either. So you can spend and pay off the full $3,000 in 1 month's time. Don't even wait for the 3 months in this particular case. So a good plan to execute with this credit card, as a fun, entertaining, and whimsical thought experiment, not as financial advice, because this is not a financial advice channel. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only. But if I were to get the credit card, here's what I would do. Step 1, apply for the credit card. Get to waiting on their waiting list. While waiting on that waiting list, set aside or save up the $3,000 you will use to immediately pay these guys back after purchasing using their credit card. When you get that card, immediately purchase $3,000 worth of Bitcoin. Upon purchasing that Bitcoin, pay the bill off in full. using the money that you set aside before the month is out so that you do not owe any interest, which is very important. You don't want to owe interest on any investment, which this kind of is. And keep in mind, the idea of investing in various instruments is that people owe you the interest payments. But consider using the BlockFi credit card for major purchases that you make in months 4 through 6. Maybe a laptop, maybe a minor vacation, something like that. So you make a little bit more Bitcoin on various purchases. At that point, if it were me, I would consider immediately canceling the card. There are some nice perks to it, but in my personal opinion, not enough to justify the $200 annual fee. And because you don't want to incur any interest payments on the card when you're not getting any rewards out of it, I would just cancel it. And voila, now you have $3,500 worth of Bitcoin. That will rise and fall, frankly, with the value of Bitcoin. In addition to that, you've not incurred any interest, and you should hopefully be a little bit more savvy and knowledgeable with your credit. You see, that's a win-win-win. And a great way to be even more credit savvy is to subscribe to this channel and to turn on all post notifications, because we have another video on how to be credit savvy coming up in the very near future that you're not going to want to miss. And while you're engaged with that subscribe button, move that finger over a couple of pixels and gently caress that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and drop us a comment letting us know what your thoughts are on the upcoming BlockFi credit card. Are you excited about it? Are you jumping to get on their wait list? I have a link to their page in the description. If I'm being honest though, I'll probably be skipping this one and waiting for another credit card with more consistent perks. This one doesn't seem worth my while, but everyone is in different stages of their finances, and it might be right for you to help build up your credit and your Bitcoin/cryptocurrency holdings. Again, drop us a comment down below because we're all dying to know. And of course, share to your favorite social media sites as well. And always remember, a goal without a plan is a wish. A goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. Take action on your personal financial credit by considering whether or not the BlockFi credit card or any Bitcoin, crypto credit card or debit card is right for you. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.